Welcome to Lock It Down Sports. I'm Locke Hoover. And as always, you can follow me on X at Lock It Up Media. That's Lock It Up Media on X. You can also check us out at E5280 Sports. That's E5280 Sports. And today on this show, will the NFL allow this? Did this player essentially kill his career? And the standings are obvious. And that's where we're starting today's show, about the standings being obvious, as we are the official halfway point of the Major League Baseball season, as the Braves sit at 37-43. They're 10 games out of first, 9.5 games out of second, 7 games out of the last wild card spot. And it's an easy answer. I mean, the answer is the offense. A perfect example of this is Thursday night against the Mets, where the starter, Ken Griffin, leaves early due to injury. So then you've got a guy that just got recalled from the minors, and then he pitches a few innings, but it's a straight bullpen game. And how many runs did you score offensively? 0. That's right. 0. You scored 0 runs this game against the Mets, who you should not have been shut out against the guys that they were throwing, especially coming out of the bullpen. Now, I went back and I was curious to see what projections were and what the Braves are actually at. Now, I didn't do everybody. I just did some of the main guys. So, Michael Harris, he has 14 home runs off his projected pace. 14 home runs off. The weird stat about this, though, is he's on pace for +3 in the RBI category, which is wild. And he's also 58 runs off his projected total. 58 runs scored off his projected total. He's also hitting 217 currently. He's projected to hit 287. I mean, you look down, beginning of the year, you're like, Michael Harris, very close to 2020 caliber seasons, as he's been very close his 3 previous seasons. 260, 270, 280 at 2020, and he drives in 85 runs and scores 85, something like that. Not even close. Now, let's look at another one. Let's look at Ozzy. Once again, 12 homers off his projected pace currently. 26 RBIs off his projected pace. 22 runs off his projected pace. Was projected to hit 266. Once again, hitting 224. And coming to this season, once again, with Ozzy, the expectation was he's healthy, he's going to hit, and he's going to produce. But if he's not healthy, there's going to be an issue. We weren't worried about Ozzy's production, because when he's healthy, he hit. Well, all these numbers are off, including the average. And he struggled. He's been struggling this year, even hitting right-handed, which that makes you a little bit nervous, considering he's one of the better right-handed hitters in the league as a switcher. Now, the only one I'm not worried about is Matt Olson. Olson is only 5 under his home run projected total, 1 under his RBI projected total, 4 under his run projected total. Projected to hit 251. He's hitting 257. I feel like he's the only one that's truly produced and been one of the productive, and currently at his pace, he could very well, hit his numbers. Projected numbers. Now, once again, Austin Riley, 8 homers off his projection, 17 RBIs behind his projection, current pace, obviously. Interesting enough, he's +1 in the run scored category. He's hitting 272, projected to hit 267. So in that end, it's okay. But he's still obviously very off and down from his projections. And he's having an okay year, but he's still a little bit off all the numbers you like to see now. And I apologize. I said Matt Olson was the only one. Well, outside of Ron Acuna as well. And he is obviously playing on fire. So if he plays every game, Ron Acuna would play 110 games. And these were projections from the 131 games that he was projected to play. So he's on an 18 homer pace, projected to hit 21, projected to score 75 runs, on pace for 62. Hitting 383 right now, projected to hit 292. So his 110 game pace is for 19 and 75 runs scored. 18 homers. So obviously, I don't have to tell you how on fire Ron Acuna has played, and Matt Olson has played as well this last month and a half. But it gives you some context of, look, these guys are a lot better, projected to be a lot better than they have been all year. It's been obvious based on watching the struggles and how the Braves offense has been this year. But just a little go back and looking at projections, and Marcell, once again, Marcell Ozuna, he's down all his numbers too. He's behind his projected pace in home runs and RBIs. And some of that has to be from the injury for Marcell Ozuna. Yeah, I understand it goes and comes with the hip injury, where he's trying to kind of battle through that, where he has good weeks and bad weeks. So sure, that's going to affect him and some of his numbers, but he's down as well. Pitching's been good. Let me rephrase that. The starting pitching has been on the whole good. Bullpen, it's had moments, but it's a mediocre bullpen, a bad to mediocre offense with a good pitching staff. I mean, it doesn't matter how good your pitchers pitch. If you get shut out, you're not going to win, obviously. So that's where the Braves are. The state of the Braves, of some of the your core offensive guys way behind in production. I mean, you can't yell at Nick Allen for this Braves offense. I mean, Nick Allen was supposed to, or Orlando Arcia, obviously, coming the season. It was, Nick Allen, Arcia, who's it going to be, whatever. They're in the 9th hole. They play good defense, and they have some key hits throughout the season. That's exactly what Nick Allen's done. Played Gold Glove defense, might actually win a Gold Glove at shortstop, but not hit very much, and that was the expectation. So there was no expectations for a Nick Allen. So this is him. Do we want to bet a shortstop? Yeah, that can hit. Yeah, but this isn't you can't be yelling, bitching, moaning, complaining at a Nick Allen. Ozzie, Michael Harris, Olsen. I mean, Olsen's been fine, but Riley, Harris, Ozzie, Riley, frustration? Yeah, absolutely. Sean Murphy is kind of what you'd expect. Good defensive catcher, has some pop, so average. That's kind of what you were getting. You knew that. Yeah, there's some frustration with him about why Drake Baldwin hasn't been playing more. Sure, that's understandable. But the catching deal has been good. Sean Murphy has as well. It's your guys, your main guys struggling that are all locked up. You can't do anything about it. And of course, it doesn't help. Jerison Profar took steroids and, HGH, whatever, and he's, about to come back, but missed 80 games. But he wasn't one of your core guys. Yeah, he's an addition to this team, but you're like, all right, let me get 18 to 20 homers, 275 average, and 65, 70 ribs, and you're like, all right, that's what we're getting from him, which is fine. That's what you wanted, but he wasn't one of your core, your Riley, your Ozzie, your Harris type guys. And it's frustrating because the starting rotation has pitched so well to get nothing offensively. Now, I'm actually really surprised what Deontay Johnson basically did and came out and said this on a podcast, which I think could really affect his career. When he was with Baltimore, he refused to come into a game in the fourth quarter because it was cold and he hadn't played at all that game. Now, I get it. Johnson's used to being on the field. Granted, he with Pitt, of course, with the Steelers, former 1,000-yard receiver, and no less than 717 yards in Pittsburgh before he's bounced around. Since Pitt, playing for Pittsburgh, he's been on three, or he's been a 3 or 4 type receiver, and has played for 3 different teams, and played for 3 different teams in 2024. Signed with the Browns in the 2025 season, which is an interesting choice for him to sign with the Browns because you know what? It is in Cleveland. It's cold. It's cold this year. They're not going to Brook Park yet, which is where the new Dome Stadium will be built. They're not going there yet. So he's got another season in the outdoors in the cold. And who knows what kind of receiver he's going to be. He might be that 3-4 type. Sometimes he gets on the field. Sometimes he doesn't. Is he going to be motivated to go and play? Is he going to be motivated to go and give it his all? Or he's like, I'm good. Him saying that too would be like a red flag for other teams of, do we want to sign this guy? Cold market. Obviously, if he's a 4 or 5 type receiver, he's not always going to be playing. There's all kinds. Philly, New York, even he comes back to Pittsburgh as a 4 or 5 type receiver. Green Bay, there's, the list goes on and on of cold weather cities where if he's not playing, he might be checked out. But hey, we might need him to catch that play on a big third down when we're 4 or 5 wide. I don't get that. I think that's very much could potentially hurt his career because I don't know if he's definitely not a number 1 receiver. maybe he can revive his career and become a number 2 or a consistent 3, but it's still a wait and see especially with this quarterback situation in Cleveland. They don't know who the quarterback is going to be. Is it going to be Kenny Pickett? Is it going to be 40-year-old Joe Flacco? Is it going to be one of the young guys in Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders? All 4 of those quarterbacks, whoever it is, it doesn't sound promising for you to go out and have a dynamite year on a 1-year deal in a cold weather city and then go back out on the market. Not ideal for you. And then you don't like playing the cold because you've checked out. There's some issues for you. Now, I think this is going to be something that's going to be fascinating to watch as we get to the 2028. And notice in 2028, the Olympics. You know what new sport has just been added to the Olympics? Flag football. And the 2028 flag football tryouts are coming up soon. And which I understand completely. NFL players have said they're interested in playing. And I get that. Will it happen? I think it will. Will NFL players play in the Olympics? Yeah, I think so. Will it be NFL stars? No, I don't think so at all. I don't see Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, Burrow, Josh Allen those type quarterbacks playing at all. Of course, they'd be great fits. I don't see the team allowing them to risk the injury, especially a sport they've never played. Yes, football's football. There's some similarities to it, but there's also a lot of differences in style of play and the speed of the game and all that. I don't think they're going to allow their multi-million-dollar quarterbacks to get hurt, but potentially to get hurt to play flag football. I'd love to see it. It'd be really cool to see a Hurts, a Lamar Jackson, that type player that's good on their feet, can scramble, go play flag football for the Olympics. I think that'd be awesome. I don't think it's going to happen, though. Now, what I do think is going to happen, we'll play, it's going to be some of your wide receivers, your defensive backs, or running back, because that's pretty much the same thing. Go run your route, juke some people out. Don't let your flag get pulled. But still, on that extent, I still don't see someone like a Jamar Chase going out and playing. For the Olympics. Once again, that'd be awesome. But I could see someone like guy we just talked about, Deontay Johnson, going out and playing that back end of his NFL career. He's trying to hang on. He wants to represent his country. That 3-4 type receiver, which would still be one of the best players to step on the field. Same thing for that defensive back, that 5th or 6th defensive back, that 3rd or 4th safety type on a roster, that 3rd down running back type, who can catch the ball out of the backfield, has speed, can catch it out of the backfield. That type of player I could very much see in the Olympics on a flag football team. Now, you hear this all the time. Major League Baseball players talk about how awesome it is to represent their country for the WBC. And even some players talk about, they're growing up and they're 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds playing on Team USA and doing that sort of thing. So I get it. It's pretty awesome and exciting for them to represent their country. I think some of the it works out better for the WBC in baseball because they start spring training earlier and there's pitch count limits and all that. So it doesn't hurt your Major League Baseball players and your product into the season. Yeah, seems like every year someone gets hurt and misses a bunch of the season or half the season or all the season or whatever it is with the WBC, but it's still the same game. It's not different, not anything different. And there's rules put in place to help you, by you, I mean the player, still get ready for the season. This would be in July, which is OTAs and the off season for the NFL. So timing's a bit different, but they're still getting ready. They would just have to start getting ready sooner to go play a different game. Similar but different game. And that's where this is a difference that, like I said, your stars aren't going to play, but there could be some names like, oh yeah, he played for the Dolphins. Or he plays for the Dolphins. Or the Rams or whatever, but not your stud. Now, I could see like a recently retired NFL player, whether this is a bad example, but I don't see Tyreek Hill retiring in 2 years, but someone like Tyreek Hill who's just retired and he's like, yeah, I still want to be competitive. I want to go represent my country, et cetera, et cetera. Retired player? Yeah. Or even like a retired former star. Like in 2 years, if Travis Kelce's done, he goes and he retires from the Chiefs and say, I still want to play something competitive, one last little ride, get ready for the Olympics and play some flag football. Yeah, I can see something like that type of star. But current prime stars, no, I don't see that happening for flag football. As always, you can follow me on X at Lock It Up Media. That's Lock It Up Media on X. You can also check us out at E5280 Sports. I'm Locke Hoover. You've been listening to Lock It Down Sports. I'll talk to you next week.